Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is the sixth video in the series Thesis Writing with Microsoft Word. I am Muhammad Taylor. You're welcome. In this video, we are going to look at the two parts of a citation, the common citation formats used in thesis reports, and which of the citations to choose. So, talking about the two parts of a citation, we have in-text citations and references citation. The in-text citations are the citations you make inside the body of text, whereas the references citation is referring to the table of the detailed entries of your source, usually placed at the end of the report. So let's open Microsoft Word. Here's our Microsoft Word, and as you can see in our last video, we captured two sources, and the sources are Matella 2025, also Khalid and Muhammad in 2026. This is an example of an in-text citation. The references citation is the table of the detailed entries of all the sources you have captured. And because we captured only two sources in the last video, we have only two entries in the references citation. So every citation should have these two components to it. That is, there must be in-text citation and there must be the references citation. And importantly, whatever you have as an in-text citation must have a corresponding entry in the references. And then if there is a reference listing in the references section, it must have been used in the body of text as an in-text citation. This is the rule. So coming back to our slide, there are different citation formats, and the commonly used ones are APA, Chicago, IEEE, and MLA. These citation formats are used in thesis reports as well as in other academic reports. So let's look at how they are related, how in what way they differ. Suppose we have a source and the source is a book. Then if these are the information that is about the book, its author, year of publication, and so on and so forth, then this is how they are reflected in the different citation formats. APA, the 7th edition, will have the in-text citation like this, that the surname of the author, the year of publication in parentheses and separated by comma, and then this is how it will be reflected in the reference listing at the end of your report. Chicago will have it this way, the surname followed by the year of publication within parentheses, and then we have, this is how it will reflect it in the references listing. Now, MLA, the current edition for MLA is the 9th edition. It will have the surname of the author in parentheses followed by the page number in which the source was taken, and so it will also reflect the source in the body of references this way. And this is for IEEE. You'll have a bracket that encloses a number such as the first entry. It will be a bracket with a 1, the second entry with a bracket with a 2, and so on and so forth. And this is how it will be reflected in the reference listing. And when you look at the year of publication in the reference listing for APA, is in parentheses, whereas in Chicago it is not in parentheses, even though they look similar. But you will notice again here for the APA, only the surname of the author is listed, followed by his initials. But in this way, in Chicago, the surname separated by the name, the other names of the author, not the initials. The fact that we have R here does not mean that you are using initials. It is because in the original name we have Michael R. Anderson, and that's why it's captured as R. Otherwise, if we have something like Michael Richard Anderson, we would have Anderson separated by comma, then Michael Richard followed by the year. But then the year will not be included in parentheses as it is in the APA. Another point to note in the difference between the formats is that for the APA and Chicago, you find that the year is following immediately the name of the author, followed by then the other information about the title, the publisher, whatever. Whereas in MLA and IEEE, you will notice that the year is coming at the end of the entry. It is the last thing in the entry for the MLA and the IEEE. So the question now is, can we use whichever format we want in our thesis report? The answer is no. You do not use whatever you want. Actually, It is the institution to which you are going to submit your report that chooses which of the formats you are going to use in your report. For example, my university, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, uses APA. And so that is why in our examples in the Microsoft Word document that we created, our citation formats is the APA. When you look at the citations we captured in the last video, you'll notice that we have APA as the format. You see it here. This is the in-text citation. And if we go down to the reference entry, we find that actually it is APA that we used. This is what we are talking about. And the good thing is that Microsoft Word has all the different formats integrated into it. For example, now that I have used APA as my format in the citations, then if suppose I want to change it to IEEE, all I need to do is to go to the references tab on the ribbon, and you will find that there is the styles field here. In the styles field, we have a drop down arrow that indicates that there are many other formats from which we can choose, and we only need to click on the arrow and to display the different formats. Once the different formats are displayed, you can select whichever one you want to use. But here, if I select IEEE, but before I select IEEE, observe the entries for the in-text citation here. Teller 2025, Khalid and Muhammad 2026. Because when I click on the IEEE, they will change to the IEEE equivalents. So let me click. You see, it has changed to IEEE. Similarly, if we go to the references section, you will notice that it is properly reflected there. So this is all we can have in this video. I hope you have found it interesting. If so, let's meet in the next video. Thank you for